still watching TVC Breakfast. It's now time we take you through everything happening in the world of social media and more. And the only lady that will give us all that accurate information, very timely, with great insights, is started by Good Morning, Most Beautiful Olamide. How are you doing?
Good morning, Most Beautiful Ria. Nobody introduces me like you. And team, this Friday is particularly good because it's Good Friday.
Yeah.
The way you guys are throwing superlatives all around, most beautiful there, most beautiful there. So who is the more?
Ibrahim, stop being jealous.
Is there no adjective that is higher than
beautiful.
most? Okay, supremely beautiful.
Thank you. There's a lot to get into, shall we?
Take it away.
Let's hop right in. Good morning, viewers, on this Good Friday. You're welcome to TVC Breakfast, and here on the Trending Now segment, my team and I do our best to bring you some of the trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in, because TVC has our finger on the pulse and our eyes on the streets. We begin today with this very serious news where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reacted to a viral video showing a grieving mother following the recent attack in Plateau state. Now, during a condolence visit to the state, the president addressed the woman directly, who was seen holding the lifeless body of her son in a widely shared video following the Angwan Rukuba attacks. The president acknowledged her pain. He said that he saw the moment and the anguish that she expressed, and he noted that only God can provide her comfort in such a difficult time. This visit comes amidst growing concerns over security following the attacks, which claimed several lives in the area. Have a look at this.
I don't want to be here commiserating and consoling. I want to be here to establish peace. I thank the men and women of the armed forces, particularly the police, for what they are doing and what they are about to do. You must unearth and find the killers for the victims. Let's see what we can do. For their losses, we cannot replace in human beings. But whatever we do.
The moment continues to draw reactions online. Later in the video, he did address the mother directly. Very emotional moments there. Nigerians are now calling for justice and improved protection for the communities affected by terrorism in our country. Let's have a look at social media. Zakaria Suleiman says, please, Mr. President, sir, sack all the serving chiefs, including the National Security Advisor, and appoint those that are ready to serve. T from Share says, Father of the nation, you spoke well. Only God can give her comfort, and thank you for not failing this time to visit the home of those affected by these killings. We are with you, sir, and I pray Nigeria succeeds so that you can also succeed. Now, unfortunately, team, the president is receiving a lot of condemnation online, but he's also receiving praise. I always say that there's a place for empathy within politics, and it's important that our leaders show they care, and that is what the president has demonstrated. But aside from public sentiment and a show of comfort to the grieving families, we know, and we discussed this earlier on, that he's also now deployed 5,000 AI-enabled camera, surveillance, tech, and a new military strategy to help combat what is going on in Plateau State, Etoma.
Yes, empathy is a very big side, a very big part of governance. If the leader doesn't show empathy, he loses connection with the people. I love the fact that he cancelled his scheduled visit to Ogun State and went there to commiserate with those people. Imagine how they feel right now. And when the president is moving, the brass will go with him. You know, so we had a lot of very important personalities there, and that must have given the people a sense of belonging, that we have a government that cares. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
All right, just seeing that the president has postponed, his trip to Ogun State because he needed to be in just is very symbolic, and it's something that we shouldn't joke with. But let's understand that in social media, everybody will say what they feel like saying, but the most important thing is the right thing has to be done. I love the fact that he spoke to the woman directly, because I got to watch the video where he told her there's nothing I can do. There's no amount of money I can give you, you know, for the pain you're feeling now. The only thing I can tell you is my condolences. And sometimes it's going to be very difficult, but those words are very soothing when you know that you're coming from, you know, a president. He sees your pain. The most important thing we need to do now is figure out a way for this not to happen again. Figure out a way that people can be safe in their communities. The fact of the AI drone is a fantastic one. It's something we should have done like yesterday. But if we're doing it now, let's do it well. Let's do it the right way. Let's make sure that these terrorists are now very afraid to attack us. Let's make them very afraid, because at some point they feel like, you know, they can be over us, they can do whatever they want to do and get away with it. It's time we now show them that we are not joking. We're taking our security back into our hands.
And I think as Nigerians, we need to look beyond always accusing the federal government of, you know, laxity when it comes to fighting insecurity. We should also question our subnationals, local governments, state governments, etc. And we should task them to doing the right thing. It's good that we have governors who are now, you know, keying behind the plans to establish state policing. We need to be very fast with it. The National Assembly and every authority that needs to put put their hands on the deck to ensure that we fight against insecurity. Kudos to the president for postponing his travel to Ogun State, which will later be done on Saturday. But beyond that, we want to see these AI cameras not on the metropolis, but would they get to the rural areas? Because some of these guys too, they always perpetrate this evil in those places. And we pray that God, with the blessing of today, should also bring all our adversaries, all our enemies of this country, you know, to justice as fast as possible. You know,
Tima, you know, Ria, you said we have to send a message to these terrorists. So one of the daily newspapers I saw, the president has now ordered troops to hunt down killers. And so I'm hoping that that signifies a more aggressive approach to this. Our hearts still continue to go out to the people of Angwan Rukuba.
Yeah, sorry, in fact, there's an order to shoot on sight exactly. Any of these terrorists wherever they find them. Indeed.
Thank you so much for your input, team. Moving on into the world of social media, a nurse at UNN General Hospital in Enugu has reportedly been suspended after she raised concerns about the deplorable conditions at the facility. In a video that was shared online and that I took on this segment, that nurse highlighted challenges including irregular power supply, a lack of oxygen for patients, water shortages, and concerns over sanitation at the hospital. Let's see what brought this about.
Sadly, I was given an indefinite suspension and now I was removed from my clinical duties. Now I want to ask Nigerians, did I do anything wrong? I never posted that video to bring the government down or to paint them bad. I only did that to bring to their attention, which luckily they have been attended and also restored light.
Now, in the video that went viral, the initial video, she called for urgent attention for authorities to improve conditions for both patients and healthcare workers. And now the nurse says that her intention was to draw attention to the issues rather than criticize the authorities. But she claims that this development has now led to her suspension. Now, we've obtained a voice note that occurred in a meeting between the school administrator and the young woman. I don't know if we can have a listen to that. Well, in that voice note, the school administrator essentially notified the woman that she was suspended indefinitely, and following that indefinite suspension, she had to take down that video. Of course, yeah, okay, we've received the voice note. Can I get that played for what the school administrator said to this nurse?
That if I take it down, they will say that either they will bribe me or something like that.
I said, take it down. Next time, if you want to do it, go and do it in your mother's house. Are you getting me? After you are leaving this school, you can continue any other place. I don't care. We are giving you indefinite suspension. You are leaving our school. Did you hear me? So you can continue with it. I don't care. But you see this one you took in the name of prison. You must bring it down.
Well, this incident has, of course, sparked reactions online, and many are still calling for improved healthcare conditions and protections for whistleblowers like that nurse in the system. Let's have a look at social media. John Forteta says, the system behaves like it's allergic to transparency. Call out failure, boom, they come for your head. What kind of leadership is threatened by honesty? And Eustace Alagamba says, this culture of oppressing young patriotic voices that refuse to be suppressed like their parents must stop. Enugu State government must immediately wake up to their responsibility to provide functional healthcare facilities for all residents and forthwith intervene to ensure that Ms. Ezugu completes her studies and clinical posting without further intimidation whatsoever. Team, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage in the current world that we live in and the current socio-political climate to come out and speak out. And this young woman is now facing consequences. How do we even begin to rally around her when the very systems that are set up to protect her are the ones that are punishing her?
I can understand the sentiments behind doing that video, but because you work there, I don't think you are the right person to have brought that out. Maybe you would have gotten another person to do that for you. But for you to bring it out, you opened yourself up, up to the suspension that you have been placed on right now. But I also want management to see this thing as she trying to help. She's trying to help. For hitting her with a big axe, I'm not too much in support of that.
I'm going to take a different angle totally to this story, because that woman that was speaking in that voice note, we need to look deep into that woman, because that's a woman that will allow anything that is not good pass by just because she wants to save face or save the name, of the place. There's nothing wrong if something is not going on well and you decide to speak about it. We shouldn't make people afraid. People have freedom of speech. And what the girl was speaking about was something very, very important. So somebody has come out to say, this is what is happening. Why don't you make it better? Why are we really scared when somebody wants to speak? When honesty wants to prevail, why are we scared? If it was good, she would not speak. She has said something. Why don't you call her, have a conversation with her? Maybe tell her next time, bring the issue to us. Or maybe if she's been bringing the issue and they're not listening to her, have a conversation with her. If you ask me, she's done something good. Something that is bad, she brought it to light. Why did she bring it to light? So that it will be better. So rather than the energy you are channeling on this young lady to suspend her, why don't you channel that energy to make it better? I do not understand this. Honestly, I feel like she's been treated very, very poorly. Allow her to finish her education. She's done something good. For me as well, I stand as the voice of the voiceless. If I see something wrong, I will speak about it. Imagine speaking about it and the organization is not trying to make it right. Rather, they want to suspend me. Then so be it. But at the end of the day, this is now a girl that is in school. She needs to finish her education. And that woman, that was talking in the voice note, she definitely needs to be checked.
There's a constant fight, between truth and falsehood. And there's a constant fight between accountability and the desire to, speak up or to not even speak at all. I think if you want to fight, there are some battles you don't fight, even when the battle is very right. You fight by proxy, as Etoma said. The wisdom actually is very important when you are, against certain things and all of that. You're still a student there. It's good what you've done, but, ethically, just like in the military, there are some things you don't say. The Gen Zs of nowadays, not everything you put on social media. You can just get a proxy. I know that on issues with Jide, oftentimes when we talk about issues and some other things, we always see people sending comments, asking for BKO's number. We give it to the person because the person will say we want to make complaints, and you see BKO talking about it on Journalist Hangouts or Issues with Jide. Those are some of the ways of fighting this battle in a subtle way so that you don't put yourself in harm's way.
But Ibrahim, we don't know if she has done all of this and she wasn't listened to. This is a very harsh thing they have done to this girl. People have the right to speak wherever they work. If something is not wrong, if something is not right there, they definitely have to speak up. So I stand with this girl. I really stand with her.
Unfortunately, anywhere in this world, you're fighting a battle. Anywhere in this world, you'll be attacked.
Ibrahim.
As the accurate timekeeper, but I always say silence in the face of oppression is indeed complicity. Now, I've just been informed that we have the clip where the president addressed the grieving mother, and it's important that we play that with all this going on social media. Let's have a look. Wow, that was
emotional.
Ria, could you just help me out?
Very emotional. Like I said
Yes.
earlier on, remember when I told you that he told her that there's nothing I can give you rather than just give you my condolences. It's quite a sad one. And I hope that she gets the faith to believe in Nigeria again after what, had happened to her. I love the fact that the president was there in person. He didn't send anybody. He understands the importance. He understands her grief. That's why he was there himself, to just make sure that she stays strong. Well done, Mr. President. This is a very symbolic move.
And I appeal to the federal government, if they can give befitting burial to, the departed souls, it will be very, very good and very good optics, not just within the country, but internationally, as they promise to fight insecurity. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, I believe I stand with the president when I say that may the gentle soul of the young man in that video, Ayuba, and the countless scores who were left dead rest in perfect peace. Thank you so much for your input, team. And thank you to my team backstage for always being so competent. Let's move on to more matters. A viral video is putting the spotlight on the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, UNN, and not for the right reasons. Now, clips circulating online show what many are calling very shocking and disgusting living conditions inside the student hostels, from abandoned and filthy bathrooms to broken, dilapidated structures that paint a very worrying picture of a deep neglect of that institution. In the video you are seeing there, those are the toilets that the students are supposed to be using. And now, of course, for an institution that was once regarded as one of Nigeria's most prestigious universities, the reaction has been swift. Students and observers alike are now asking, how did things get this bad? The video has reignited concerns around funding, maintenance culture, and accountability in our public universities, and many are now calling on authorities to urgently intervene and restore the facilities to their old glory, and I completely agree. Let's have a look at social media. I'll take two tweets. Nigeria Youth for Education, I love this organization. They say, this is heartbreaking and unacceptable for our youths at UNN. Female students deserve clean, safe hostels and not environments breeding infections because of unpaid cleaners and neglected infrastructure. I stand with students demanding better welfare. University management must prioritize. Very interesting dialogue. OT41K1 says, this is the poster card of all federal universities' hostel toilets. Wicked and evil educated professors running the universities who, despite studying abroad, cannot strive to make their universities a quarter of what they want to experience abroad. Tima, I'm going to draw some parallels between this story and the story we talk about in nursing institutions. And Tima, you raised a vital point. You said read the room, have some social awareness and of your surroundings, know where you are employed. It's not everything you say. Ibrahim, you raised the issue of military people. You cannot just speak against the army. It amounts to treason or whatever the case may be. But we're seeing that this is happening in hospitals, this is happening in schools. So if we all keep quiet across all our institutions because we want to take cognizance of where we work, what then happens to our society?
Nobody is advocating that we keep quiet. We're saying send the message out the right way. Send the message out and protect yourself in the process. That's what we're saying. UNN, only God knows the last time they did any renovation anywhere inside that campus. But new buildings are being built. At the end of the day, do those buildings have a budget for maintenance? Maintenance culture has always been an issue, and it's so disgusting to see that such an Ivy League university is that dilapidated.
Olamide, I must say, fantastic parallels you drew there. Amazing, honestly. Because if you ask me, if we keep saying that we would not speak, then there's a problem. So now, if a girl from that school speaks out, will you not tell me that you will suspend that girl because she's saying something right? The way people pass out things is different. What if she doesn't have money to take it to a blog? A blog will want to collect money. What if she's taking it to other stations? Maybe next time, please bring it to TVC because we'll showcase it for you. But what if she's taking it to other stations and nobody's listening to her? Then she now has to take the bold move to speak. One person has to be courageous. It starts with one person. So in times like this, just look at that hostel, Olamide. We are women. We understand the implications of using a toilet like that. We understand the infections that will happen. So it's quite a sad one. The fact that we neglect things that are very important and then we focus on things that actually, if you ask me, are not. We need to look into this. And the people that are in charge of that university is quite a sad one. Very shameful, I must say.
I think we need to understand certain things, that no one is saying that we should not speak the truth. We should not speak truth to power. Or we should not fight injustice. One thing we're saying is that you have to do that with wisdom. There are so many people who can help you out on all of this. You can share this video by proxy and it gets out and the message is sent and the problem is addressed. Simple as ABC.
Ibrahim, duly noted. So would you have liked her to go to talk to the school administrator who told her in that first place to take the video down? Who does she talk to?
She can reach out to those social media influencers. And if anyone is asking you for money to call for justice, then that person too is not doing the right thing. And I give an example, excuse me, I give an example of when we do programs, issues with Jide, oftentimes, virtually on every episode, people always ask for his number. We give the person's number, the BKO's number to the person, and they send the video or whatever complaint, and it talks about it on TV. These are some of the smartest ways of fighting injustice.
Not every case can pass through that.
I understand where you're all coming from, but I distinctly remember, a speech that the president gave during Democracy Day, and I remember him saying, allow our youth to speak their minds. So I personally will follow the charge of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you so much for your input.
Let's go on.